Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Again, we had some technical glitches which I must accept responsibility for. The gremlins were over here this morning. I'm here with Chris and we were talking previously on the previous video about Chris's journey, so we're going to start from the very beginning for those who are rejoining us. Chris, again, thank you very much for joining us. You were telling us about your journey and how an American got lost living in Japan, so do you want to start with that again?
Yeah, sure. So back when I was in university, at the end of my sophomore year, sophomore year, my parents got an opportunity my dad got an opportunity to come and set up their operations, his company's operations in Japan. They wanted to come in Japan. They needed a senior member, manager level person to come over, and he volunteered for the gig. So my mom and dad moved out here. Because I was the last of 4 boys, and so I was off at university, didn't have any kids or anything to worry about. So he just thought, you know what? Great opportunity. There was a nice promotion involved. I mean, do something different, and he just felt like he was up for it. So that was pretty cool. So I went over after my sophomore year in the summer. I spent 3 months in Japan. I absolutely loved it. I mean, it was just shocking to me how much I loved this place, and I thought this place was one of the coolest places I've ever been to. And I traveled a little bit in high school. So I was like, you know what? I went back to university, and I started studying Japanese my junior year. And I came back another summer, and my parents were kind enough to pay for me to go to an intense Japanese training program. So I was literally in a 5-day-a-week for 3 months, 4 hours a day, Japanese, intense classes. So you can make a lot of progress when you're in that kind of environment. And then went back and I did another year of Japanese study in university. And after that, I thought, I really want to come out. My parents are in Japan. I like it. I've got a lot of Japanese study in my belt. I want to improve on that. So I looked for a job related to Japan. I mean, I was singly focused on getting a job that would put me in Japan. I mean, everything I applied for, I said, I want to go to Japan. I want to go to Japan. I was lucky to find a job, and I got that. My wish came true, and I got placed in Kyoto, which is where I live now. And it's so funny because all my colleagues who I worked with, I told them, my parents live in Tokyo, American. The first Christmas rolls around, like, oh, Chris, you're going back to the States for Christmas. I'm like, I am going home for Christmas, but my parents live in Tokyo, so I'm going to Tokyo for Christmas. So it was really funny. We had American Christmas in Tokyo, my first full year in Japan at university. And then after that, my parents stayed another year after that and then left. So they spent a total of almost 5 years here, not quite. They love it, and they still come back and visit very often. I thought originally I would just stay here, maybe 2 to 3 years after university, and 21 years later, I'm still here. Basically, I've got the equivalent of a green card. They call it permanent residency here in Japan. So I'm a full-on American immigrant living in Japan, and I love it, and I have no intention to go back. Now, how I got into Ecom is a different story. I got into Ecom because I really got hit hard by the financial crisis at the end of 2008. I was making some good money. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in headhunting. The 2008, I made about $275,000. Excuse me. Then the following year, I made about $5,000. So, I mean, the financial crisis hit me really hard. I'm not able to hear you at all, Anthony.
Can you not hear me, no?
No, I got you. You can hear me again, right?
I can hear you perfect. You're fine. I'm letting you run. You're doing well. And Schleinte. Cheers.
We're having a beer. It's evening time here in Japan, so.
Well, as you see, guys, this is how the world and the internet works. He's having a beer and I'm having breakfast.
Anyway, so I got into internet marketing, and the first 2 years were tough. I literally did not I didn't have any success. I mean, I made some sales here and all, but I was running at a big loss. Plus, I was paying for my lifestyle. And I basically quit headhunting, and I tried to make it. I thought, in 2009, I thought, maybe my problem was I was trying to do my headhunting job and do internet at the same time. So I thought, I'm going to quit headhunting and focus 100% on this new thing, internet thing, because I really believe this is the future and there's a lot of potential here. And I thought, okay, if I'm singly focused, this will make all the difference. And I proceeded to lose money again in 2010. So literally, I had 2 years of losing money. I had ripped through most of my savings. I had paid for my lifestyle, and I lost money online. So I was really in a bad place. And I realized what I was doing wrong. And there was two things that I was doing wrong. I was on YouTube seeking out answers on YouTube. And there's some good content. Don't get me wrong. I have some content up on YouTube too. There's some good content on YouTube, but it's very discombobulated, right? One person says one thing, one person says another thing, one video takes you down another one that's a rabbit hole, and you're telling yourself spinning in circles of information. It's not systematic. And one of the most important things someone who's struggling to have success online is they need a system to follow. Step 1, step 2, step 3. When you become more successful, then you can take different parts of different systems and implement it and make them your own. But one of the most important thing you need is someone who's a newbie or struggling is one path to follow.
Correct. 100% agree.
That's really, really, really critical. And then I was also in a lot of these Facebook groups, huge amount, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 people. And now that I look back on it, how stupid I was to be so engaged in these groups.
Let me be very clear. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because I resemble, as we say here, I resemble the comment. Because the thing I keep saying to people about YouTube and Google and a lot of the stuff on Facebook, especially YouTube and Google, it's not about who knows how to do it best. It's about who can rank best. So the information you're getting may not, because it's up high, may not necessarily be the right information. You want to learn from people who can walk the walk and talk the talk.
So in these groups, you ask questions and people come to help you, right? Well, the people who are helping you are people who are struggling, not having success. So it's literally the blind leading the blind. I mean, it's insanity, right? So, I mean, what I realized, I need to seek out someone who really knows what they're doing. And I originally was going to go for their training course, but I got to talking to them, and I figured, fuck it, I'm at my rope's end anyway, I'm back against the wall, so I'm going to invest basically almost the rest of the money I had, because actually it's really funny, I called up my old boss, my old sales, headhunting job, because actually headhunting started coming back in Japan, and started going back up again. I said, hey look, I'm pretty much almost out of money. I'm going to invest in this coaching program and try to make this dream work for me. 3 months from now, if this doesn't work for me, would you accept me back? He said, absolutely, in a heartbeat. You were one of my best, biggest billers ever had. So that's what I did. I took $6,500 and I invested. I had just enough money where I could invest in the business and live for 3 months. And I said, fuck it. I'm going to go all in on this coaching program, follow his path. If I don't succeed, I'm going to go back into headhunting. The second month of signing up for coaching and training, I had my first profitable month. And this is February 2011. I made the decision at Christmas, the end of 2010. I remember my Christmas present to myself was to invest in this coaching and training. It was Christmas season, so we agreed to start in January 1st. Or 2nd, sorry, I asked him New Year. So, it was amazing. That was a pivotal turning point for me. From that moment on, I've been profitable every single year. So 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and now 2018, another profitable year. So we're talking 8 years. Okay, that was a pivotal, that decision, that moment I made a decision that I'm going to just go all in on this. I'm going to put down the money to make the investment. It changed everything. So, anyway. By the way, you don't necessarily have to go for a coaching program. There's a lot of the training programs out there as well. But I just want to say that, look, the key here is you need to follow a system that's laid out for you. Okay? That is the most critical thing. Okay? And that's what I learned. I mean, that's one of my biggest learning points. If I had done that from the beginning, I would have saved myself a lot of money in losses. But I've also think about all the money I could have made. It's just a huge mistake that I made. I realize that now. I realized that shortly after going into the training coaching program. All right. So at the time, I was doing more affiliate type related stuff.
You're doing which?
Affiliate stuff.
Affiliate stuff. Okay.
Like promoting digital products. My main thing was to find JV Zoo products. And this is basically what the coaching program was about. But a lot of the principles of what I learned in the advertising and all that stuff and found me Facebook ads, became very useful for what I run into next. But around 2012, after about a year of success with using Facebook ads to promote JVZoo offers. That was basically what I learned in Facebook. I would go on the JVZoo and I would find some sort of hot product and I would run ads to it, and I was making between $200 to $1,000 a day doing profit. Not bad. But it was not bad, but it's pretty hard to scale that big because you know how JVZoo launches go, right? That someone launches something for 7 days or 3 days and then it's over, and then they close it, right? Or they're going after a very specific market and they hit all the people in that market to affiliates like me. And by that, I was also building the mailing list. So I was mailing out the offers that I was promoting. I was trying to find congruent offers so I could build the right mailing list. Anyway, I heard about all these people making money with T-shirts selling with Facebook ads on this thing called Teespring. And I heard about this several times. I'm like, this is interesting because at this point, I'm really good at Facebook ads. So, I mean, T-shirts is a whole different game, but why don't I give this a try? Because I could see how, you can sell a lot of T-shirts. So I started getting into the Teespring thing. And yeah, I had success with it. I was one of I'm not the pioneer because I was a guy named Donald Wilson, but I was one of the first, say, 30 or 40, 50 pioneers who made the idea of selling shirts on Facebook big. They call me, when it comes to the t-shirt physical product game for small-time Ecom sellers like me, I'm old school, old boy. I mean, in fact, there was a post this guy named Robert Walsh said, hey, cheers to the old boy. See who's around here. He tagged me in that post as one of 50 people. So I was so successful with selling t-shirts that when Teespring had their first ever live training event, they started doing it in London because there's a lot of Europeans trying to sell t-shirts globally, especially in the United States. They invited me and paid for me to be a speaker, and they flew me out to London. My hotel and everything was food and taxi, and it was great. They flew me out there, and I did that training. And that was awesome. I really, that's what lit a fire under my ass in 2013 to go into training and coaching. So then I started doing training and coaching from that point on. That was a catalyst for that. And I continued to sell on Teespring, and then eventually I discovered Shopify. And as much as Teespring had been good to me, in fact, when I made the switch to Shopify, I made a post on Facebook personally thanking Teespring. I said, I thank you guys, I love you guys, and I recommend a lot of newbies start with Teespring. Because if it wasn't for Teespring, I would never have discovered the physical product world, and it was great for me. But here's the reality: is you're running traffic to their site, you're building their brand, you're building their mailing list. And that just did not make sense in a long-term business model. I wanted to build my brand. I wanted to build my mailing list, right? Because they say the money's in the list. I learned from affiliate marketing. As I grew my affiliate marketing list of buyers, I could mail them new offers and I would make money. So I'd already learned that the money's in the list. So when Shopify came along, and then these fulfillment companies that were connected to Shopify came along, I was like, before with Teespring, I was just making money on the front end sale. Well, now I can not only make money on the front end sale, I can create my own mailing list, and I can, make money on the back end sale. It's still true to this day. So much revenue is made through email. You guys may think it's old school, but it's not. It's still alive. The money is in the list. That
100% agree.
Anyway, that's my story.
When I talk about email, I say, the interesting thing to me about email is because you hear it, we're both around long enough to have seen all the shiny objects and the great new things. And back in 2010 and 11, it was what's going to be the Facebook killer and all of this type of stuff. But the interesting thing is, I say to people, Facebook, which has survived, send me emails about my ads. It's always interesting. They hit out. So, Chris, we have you coming on the Legends, which I'm very grateful for because I think your story is fantastic. And, I do. There's two things I have to say. I smile. I nearly went the Teespring route myself at one point. And our journey would be similar because I started, I was messing around, I was doing some eBay, so I come from a physical retail background, and I was messing around, and I then eventually said, the same as you said, fuck it, I'm going to find the guy, and I went and actually lived in his basement for a week. You know, no, his basement had its own bar and its own cinema, so it wasn't exactly slumming it. So you're talking very much ecom. Ecom, in a sense, does scare people a little bit when you talk about Shopify and the rest of it. So how complicated is it?
That's a good question. It's not that complicated to get started. Okay, it's not that complicated to get started. It's just like any business, you do have to have some perseverance. So I'm not going to bullshit you and say, oh, you're going to be whippy-neepy easy, because then I'm setting you up for failure. You're going to have to work it. But here's the thing. It's all about finding a winning product, right? First you determine your niche, and then you find a winning product in your niche. It just takes one good winning product idea, and your business can take off from there. Because you're using what's called interruption marketing. And what that means is you're doing advertising, right, on different platforms, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, wherever, right? You are interrupting people's day and saying, here's a product, go check it out. And people have to be kind of motivated to go and check that out, because who goes on Facebook today to go buy? Now we're selling hats, bags, beer steins. I'm in the beer niche, by the way. I know someone in the beer. We're selling beer steins. We're selling all sorts of stuff, right? Not just t-shirts. But who goes on the Facebook today to buy that stuff? Do you?
No.
So, but I'm throwing it at you. So if it's something that's tied to something you're interested in, and it's something that's cool, you will take the time to go off on Facebook and check it out, and you will buy it. So it's about finding that first winning idea. And then once you get it, it's amazing what can happen. Because when people go to your website from that one idea, they're suddenly shopping mode. The mindset shifts. I'm on this website. I love this cool beer stand that I'm looking at. Oh, what else do they have here? I'll take that too. And even though if you had advertisers other products on Facebook, they would have not probably been motivated to go and buy. So they're making a sale. Then you got the email address. Then you can email market them, right? As people come to your website, you got a retargeting audience, which you can build lookalike audiences on. So it snowballs from there, and it becomes infinitely easier. So the hardest part about ecom and success is that first winning idea, which I help people learn how to do. But just know, if you can overcome that one hurdle, incredible shit can happen.
Sorry, there we just have somebody, and because of the software I'm using, I'm asked, can Chris see my comment? There's something I want to tell him thanks. So yes, I can add it. So you can ask the question away. No problem.
I can't see the questions. I guess it's
I'll tell you.
Okay.
When it comes up. So it'll come up on the screen. So Chris, the thing I really like is you're talking about a system. So obviously you're going to show people how this system will work on the webinar and how they can get up and moving, right?
That's right. And on this particular webinar, I'm going to talk about what you need in place to be successful in ecom. Talk a little bit specifically about how to advertise for Facebook for ecom products, because I know a lot of people will have ecom products they want to promote. So I want to talk about the advertising system. Yeah, the webinar is going to be called the 8 Magical Keys to a 7-Figure ecom funnel. So basically going to outline the basic, all the aspects of the funnel. But I'm going to focus mostly when I go to the detailed part on the Facebook ads portion of it.
Well, we can definitely prove that what you're saying works, because I can't see your name because of the software isn't behaving itself and hasn't for a while. Hang on, it's Ralph. So Ralph O'Sharp, hi Ralph. Ralph says that I got my beer curls mug today. I hope that makes sense to you.
Yes. Something that I'm selling on my site.
So guys, there you go. There's proof straight away that what Chris is saying works.
Someone bought. One of the person on the live stream actually bought a product off my site.
History is very good, Ralph. You know, so Ralph, I knew I liked you for a reason. Obviously, you're fond of the beer like ourselves.
Yes.
So, Chris, give me one thing, just one secret that you're going to share on the webinar. Just one, because guys, you got to turn up to learn the magic.
Okay. People. Okay. So we talked about the idea of the one winning idea, okay? And so one of the biggest things that people make a mistake on is they spend too much money testing to find that one winning idea. You need to be able to test cheap, because it's a little bit of a numbers game, especially in the beginning, because you don't know your niche very well, you're learning your niche. With every single product you launch, you're going to ask yourself, why didn't that work? And if you do that, first product, second product, some will happen, third or fourth product, some will take 10 products, some will take 20, sometimes more, right? But if you're asking yourself that question, you're learning in the process, you get to understanding this better, and you start to get to hone in, okay, what works, okay? Now, for what will resonate, what will sell in your niche, right? Because it's all about, it's a physical product-driven business, right? Physical product, so you get to learn what will sell. But here's the problem is, a lot of people go broke because they spend too much money testing an idea. You need to learn how to test cheap and read the data. And I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah, it is interesting. A lot of people, they get an idea and it becomes their baby.
That's right.
Yeah, it's always a bad. It's a bad idea.
This happens in any, not just the physical affiliate market, whatever. Oh, this software should sell, and they spend hundreds of dollars in ads on it. When after about $5-10, they should have realized that, hey, something's off.
Yeah, absolutely fail fast. So, by the way, I hate to tell you, but Ralph says no. He won it 3 months ago. He just received it. So that's good. Alright folks, so thank you very, very much for watching it. We're going to get Chris off and get him off to finish his day. He has another call. So Chris, thanks for coming on and sharing your journey and your experience with us. I'm really looking forward to your masterclass on Legends. Guys, the link will go under. The site's going live later today. Today is Thursday if you're watching this live. Thursday 27th if you're watching on the replay. It's live already, so go grab your free ticket and you get to meet Chris and another 16 legends. And
we're looking forward to it.
Have a good one, guys.
You too. Bye.